Hi. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this consistently, but I'm hoping to maybe start trying to do this consistently. Um, but kind of do like more of a serious sort of thing. I don't know. Again, this is, as always, my videos are always mostly for me, because it's kind of like a therapy, it's a video diary sense of, I don't know how to speak. It's a video diary sort of thing, and I'm always happy if someone else relates. And that's why I make it public, just in case someone stumbles upon it or whatever. But I kind of wanted to make this the first of many, but I'm not sure if I will. I might even end up deleting it because sometimes I feel like I need to because I say things, I don't know. Anyway, all that to say, this is going to be part one, and it's going to be kind of like what I'm learning in myself through therapy. So whether that's my talk therapy that I have during the week, or the kind of therapy I do for myself, the skills I'm using. And anyway, so this one, I guess I wanted to talk mostly about what inspired me to make this first video, and just because there's something I'm learning in myself really recently, kind of in my situation with my social anxiety and how bad it's become, and how I'm trying to sort of fight it. So I'm still going into certain social situations. Mostly I'm starting off going to the ones that are necessary. So things like going to therapy, which is a small kind of social situation in a way, because I am driving in the car. Actually, that's a great topic too. If anyone agrees, again, no one's probably going to even watch this video, but I feel like just even driving can be kind of a social situation, because road rage and I don't know. I feel like people think that just because you see a big metal car and you're not really dealing with a person, but you are dealing with people, and I feel like it's a social thing. And once you get into traffic, and the more slowed down it is, the more social it even feels. I don't know how to explain it, because even if you're in your car and you're separate, you still know that people, that's what drives a car, right? And that's social. And anyway, but going to therapy, definitely going to my flight school, which I've been doing. And I'm going to do it more less now, less pressure. So maybe once a week with the flight school, but that's a social situation. And that one's easier for me to handle because of the environment and the people there. And that's a great subject too, about how you can have general social anxiety like I do, but it does help where so I am dealing currently with people who avidly are kind of passive aggressive, and we all know that's the worst kind of aggressive, because when you're passive aggressive and you're talking about me and not to me about issues, if you hear it from someone else or accidentally hear something about yourself that's wrong or terrible or hurtful, it's really hard to deal with, because it's easier to deal with things head on. Someone just smacks you in the face, it's that's still not a good thing, but at least you can, someone looked you in the eye and smacked you in the face, so what you're dealing with, and where the aggression comes from, versus being passive aggressive, which is telling someone else oh, I have an issue, and that's why I like these kind of ideas of these video vlogs, and why I respect so many people on YouTube, because they're just staring, well, maybe not staring straight at the camera, but they're staring at the screen, and they're just, telling it like it is. Anyway, unless they're a gossip channel. Anyway, but so I've learned a lot of things in myself. First of all, I'm the first to admit that I'm not perfect. If anyone says that they are, and they literally believe they are, that's questionable. But you know what I mean? I'm not, and I know I'm very self-aware. I know all of my issues. I know all of my flaws, but I also know what I don't have, and what I'm not, what's the court term? Guilty of? I'll be the first to raise my hand when I relate, whether that's a negative thing or a positive thing. So first of all, I know that I haven't had the best taste in the past. Before my current boyfriend, my taste in guys was usually really people who were toxic for me, and it was never right. And then, it was just really bad. So I know my taste in guys, I've had a history of that being not really good at judgment. But yeah, also, I know that I'm very fragile and oversensitive and I overreact, and I know that's a thing in my family too. But I'm not trying to blame it. I'm just saying that's a thing in my family, but that's definitely me, and I'm probably the worst when it comes to that. But I also know that I'm not a liar. Like, I was the kind of kid who, if I lied like once or twice, I would fess up and I'd always feel really bad about it. But I'm not a liar in the sense that, like, I really, I'm an observer and I try to see things as they are. I get very concerned about, like, I'm always checking with people too. I want witnesses because I want the real version of the story. I don't want to have a tainted perspective. I'm big about communication. I'm big about, if there's like gossip going around, I would like to face, like, have even a therapy session or just talk to someone about it and get it out in the open. Anyway, I'm not going to make this much longer. There's a lot more to discuss about this, but I just worry about storage space and all that practical stuff. But anyway, so, like, I was just trying to point out, it's probably all over the place, but trying to point out, like, starting off, a couple of things I know to be true about myself, and I know that I'm not. Anyway, there's a lot more, but